Blog Talk Radio.
Don't you love it? Hello, 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 out there in Blog Talk Radio Land. Hello there, world. Yes, United States, Germany, Italy, all of my listeners in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Hello there, my darlings. Thank you for all of your love and your support, honey. I hope that you have all of your crumpets together, baby, because you know what time it is, honey. It is time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach. Hey, babies. I am sitting up here, baby. I am in a world because I'm very honored right now, honey. A lot of folks don't realize what this means to me, today's show. And I'm going to have to be quick because my guest, he's pressed for time, and I want to make sure that we get as much information in as we can so that he can go on and get back with his day and take care of his business. So I'm going to cut the formalities, and all of this and all of that and blah, 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 blah. I will come to all of that at the end of the show. So if you stay with me, once we finish with all of this, I'll give you all the formalities that I usually give up front. But I do have to do this here, and that is, I need to give my disclaimer first, and that is, dishing tea with Big Meach, honey, is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that you hear today are not for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matter. So your listening discretion is advised. I'm going to repeat that. Dishing tea with Big Meach is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that you hear are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature enough to handle the subjects at hand. So your listening discretion is advised. Everybody who knows me, y'all know I have a potty mouth. I make no excuses for it. I've earned every four-letter word or filth and flooring that comes out of my mouth. I'm 42 years old. I've paid my dues. So just know, honey, I don't know what bag I'm coming out of. Just know that I'm coming out of one, okay? So having said all that, please govern yourself accordingly if you're at work. Now is the time to turn the volume down to a decent level and or put your headphones on. If you have children and you want to enjoy yourself here, then put them on with Barney or Dora or SpongeBob, the SquarePants thing, Sesame Street or something. Give them their time so that you can have yours, okay? Because none of you bitches are going to come to me and be like, okay, you did this and you did that. You're going to govern yourselves accordingly, honey. So consider yourselves warned at this point, okay? So having said all that, my guest today, honey, I entitled this show, The King of the 1970s black film era, okay? In film and television and carrying on, honey, as you heard the opening song, honey, he's best known. HUGGY BEAR is his claim to fame in the world that we know. However, for those of you who may be too young to remember that, you know him as Fly Guy from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker with the yellow, big old yellow and zebra print hat and the goldfish shoes coming out of the jail cell. Yeah, honey. Every time I think of that, honey, it floors me. However, my guest today, honey, we're going to really get down into a couple of things about his career, identify some things in his era, and compare his era and this era and do a couple of those things. So before I bring him on, I have to pay respects to a couple of the sponsors. So let me take a commercial break, and on the flip side of this commercial, when we come back, we will have none other than Mr. Antonio Fargas on the show, okay? He'll be dishing his tea right after these messages.
Trigg Laboratories manufactures premium sexual wellness and consumer healthcare products and is the parent company of Wet International Incorporated, one of the world's best-selling lines of personal lubricants and intimacy products. We carry a large variety of personal and flavored lubricants, flavored heating massage lotions, and aromatherapy heating massage oils. Whether you need a little or a lot, Wet has you covered. Our line of high-quality, innovative, and unique products are formulated using only the finest ingredients at our FDA-approved facility, meeting the strictest manufacturing standards. Wet is available worldwide at specialty stores and online retailers and at pharmacies nationwide. For more information or to find a retailer near you, log on to www.stayswetlonger.com. Trigg Laboratories. We create fun, quality, trusted products to innovate your intimacy.
What up? It's your boy Dave Tolliver, a.k.a. the Black Paparazzi Minute Large is in the building. Happy anniversary, Big Meach. It's your third year, man. Many, many more years, man. God bless. Hey, by the way, tea is my favorite drink, man. Sweet tea, that is. Dishing the tea, baby. Happy third anniversary. Holla at your boy.
Hey. Are you looking for that special place to take someone for a good down-home southern meal and some live entertainment? Well, have I got the place for you. Right here in the underground Atlanta, we have the Georgia Peach Restaurant and Lounge. Enjoy southern hospitality and southern fusion cuisine. This is the perfect place to dine and mingle while experiencing a home-like atmosphere. Stop by and enjoy invigorating jazz and blues music with live entertainment on the weekends. We're open Monday through Saturdays. Lunch is served from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Dinner served from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Appetizers from 10 p.m. until close. Sunday brunch, 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. If you are a government employee, military personnel, or airline employee, you will enjoy a 10% discount on all of your dine-in food. Located in the underground Atlanta, right there at Kenny's Alley in the heart of Atlanta, you have the Georgia Peach Restaurant and For more information, contact them at 404-348-4300. That's 404-348-4300. Or go online and look them up at www.dinegapeach.com. That's www.dinegapeach.com. The Georgia Peach Restaurant and Lounge. Southern hospitality and Southern fusion cuisine.
Somebody help me! Help! Jesus! You saved my beautiful black ass. You really did.
Mm-hmm. And you better have a mighty good reason why those hoods were after it, too.
Well, practically nothing. A lousy 2 or 3 days.
Come on, Link. You're not talking to one of your jive-ass friends. You're talking to me, your sister. Now give it to me straight.
I am. Now listen. Look, I had to borrow a few bucks to go into business.
From a loan shark, right?
Well, the Bank of America ain't started giving out mortgages on numbers banks, have they?
Okay, so what happened?
What do you think the odds are against 500 people all hitting the number on Martin Luther King's birthday?
So how much did you go down for?
It's a lousy 20 grand or so. But I would have had it all back if they just give me a lousy 2 or 3 more days.
Oh, Link! After all you've been through, when are you going to learn?
Look, it's a legitimate business. Almost. But it's better than being a paid informer like that big shot boyfriend of yours. And where is he now? He's probably at the bottom of the river, polluting it with his feet in a bucket of cement.
Shut up about him, Link.
Okay. Yeah, but I was doing fine before, dealing coke. And then you came down on me for that.
all right. I guess you're going to have to stay here until I can think of what to do.
Thanks, baby. And them people don't know nothing about you at all.
And that's another thing. As long as you're under this roof, you got to promise me to stay away from them people and out of the racket.
Oh, Foxy, look, I'm a black man, and I don't know how to sing, and I don't know how to dance, and I don't know how to preach to no congregation. I'm too small to be a football hero, and I'm too ugly to be elected mayor. But I watch TV, and I see all them people in all them fine homes they live in, and all them nice cars they drive, and I get all full of ambition. Now you tell me what I'm supposed to do with all this ambition I got.
I don't know, Link. I just don't want to see you end up in jail or shot down in the street somewhere.
Baby, jail is where some of the finest people I know are these days.
Link Brown. And for those of you who don't recognize that clip, honey, that was from Foxy Brown, honey, starring the one and only the gorgeous Miss Pam Grier, honey. So without any further ado, let's get into this thing because I got questions and questions and questions. Here he is, the one, the only, Mr. Antonio Fargas. Hello there, sir. It is with great honor and pleasure and esteem that I honor you and thank you.
Cup of ambrosia of tea with you today. You know, I'm really floored when just listening to some of the clips and listening to the intro and hearing, you know, my past and, you know, and the characters. It's just, you know, I'm really, it's almost overwhelming, but I'm so glad to be here to spend some time with you. You are a classic. Don't go Wendy Williams on me. Don't take the money. Big, but stay under the radar, baby, because that's where you can be most effective. You know.
Oh, and I cherish that. Thank you so much. Wendy and them, let them do their thing, honey. You know, here with Dishing Tea, it's all about understanding you, the person behind the celebrity. You know, I always find that if we can see the person, you know, we get caught up in the bling and the Hollywood and this, that, and the other, and we forget that all of that is a business. Just like I got a donut factory job. When I go to that job, I have to maintain that sense of professionalism. When I come home to let my hair down, that's the part of that I think everybody wants to know about the person as much as they're willing to share. This is not to bamboozle you, to railroad you, or to anything. This is to give you the opportunity to let folks into your world at your pace. You know what I'm saying? And I love that.
I've been, you know, my work is really a roadmap to revealing me, and it's so nice to be able to sort of like culminate, you know, at this point in my career, after 52 years in the business, to be able to say, what you see is what you got, and you know, and I've always been smoke and mirrors in order to create characters because I didn't want anybody to really know me, but that character work was like my way of escape. My way of talking about the characters in life that were revealed to me that I represented. I represented the gay community. I represented the downtrodden. I represented the pimps, the pushers, and all those people who were taking chances in life. My life has been a surviving life through acting, and I survived life through acting through the grace of God to be able to have a gift of being able to hide very well. But my teacher has a saying, and it's called, "Can you hide from the teacher?" And I can, you know, I've seen a lot of pictures, so I know there's very few things about the human condition, particularly about the characters that I play, you know, because I spoke from the heart. I spoke from the secrets that people have. You know, we all have things that, you know, that we don't want to reveal, so we have to have this mask that we put on. And all my characters are masks for people who are hurting, people who have passion, people who have dreams that are desired, and listening to Link Brown brought it all back, because that's exactly what it was. I watched TV. I had all this ambition. What am I supposed to do with this ambition? Well, and go out there and create and make a way for yourself. And when I found theater and television and when I found theater in the entertainment business, I found a family of people who felt like I felt, you know, and I immediately could identify with those people who are taking those chances and creating music, creating art, creating characters. And I really feel like I'm in the right seat in the bus today, very comfortable within my own skin. And it took a lot of trial and error and pain and all those things for me to, you know, to be here today, you know, particularly a free man like Big Meach, a free man who's able to just do your thing. And I really enjoy, you know, I don't know, it's the first time I've, you know, discovered you, and I'm glad it happened, and I'm open to any question you want. You know, I think I have the facility to you know, to reveal, as well as be, you know, sophisticated enough to not sweat through an interview. And this one I'm looking forward to.
Well, no, I'm not gonna make you sweat, because if you're like me, honey, you don't sweat, you melt. So I want to keep you here, because this here is a dream come true for me, and I'm going to share this with you. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and there is a shop that's down on, what is that? It's on Broadway Street. I think it's a...
you're the next person. I saw somebody the other day. I was in Baltimore, and... Oh, no, here in Las Vegas where I live, and this lady came up to me and said, I met you at my man's shop who sold these vintage clothes in Detroit, and I think that's where you're going, right?
Yes, because he had your picture on his wall. It was an autographed picture, and I said, oh, my God, I have been wanting to just speak with you ever since I saw that picture, and because I didn't know you had been in Detroit that recently, because it was a recent picture at the time, and I was like, oh my God, I would love to sit down and talk with him. And this is well before we started the show. The show now was 3 years old, and I'm like, okay, you know, and so to have you here is just a fruit of the law of attraction for me. And I must start here, because you said something very interesting, and that was that you found theater to be your means of escape, and to coin the title from Paul Lawrence's Dunbar's poem, We Wear the Mask, to where theater became your mask to hide yourself, so that folks could not know exactly who you were at that time. Now, a lot of folks do not know that your heritage is Puerto Rican heritage and Trinidadian heritage. Was that something that you were afraid of going into the arts, or did it help shape and mold you, or were you still trying to find your voice because of your eccentricities?
Because of my eccentricities, that is the main thing. You know, it was, you know, my dad was Puerto Rican, my mom's from Trinidad, Grenada, and she was born in Cuba, and they met here, and you know, they made 11 children, and I was the third one, and I was sort of the peacemaker, and we have all these, and the voyeur to life. You know, I was called the sensitive one because I could solve everybody's problem. I was called the lawyer when I was growing up, when I was just like 5, 6, 7 years old, because I always felt different again. And so when my mom found an ad in the newspaper called the Amsterdam News, and they would cast a film about gangs called, you know, it was something like West Side Story but set in Harlem. It was called The Cool World. And why don't you try out for this? And I reluctantly or whatever, I went down and I tried out, and because I could read well, I was able to let my natural abilities for this and for this business and this family which adopted me, come through, and here we are 52 years later, because I was 14 years old when I did the Cool World. It was really to get out of self, out of self because of I didn't want that inner child to have to. And now there's a process that I've gone through where I looked at this little picture of myself as about 4 or 5 years old, and that picture's in they did a thing called Life After on TV1.
Yes.
Life. This little picture of me, wide-eyed, standing on a stoop, and I look at that picture sometimes and I say, not only forgive me, for taking you down this journey, but it is something that I had to do because I wanted to protect that innocence, and I had no other way to finding a place where I could, not just be a train wreck in people's lives, but also give to characters because that's all I had to give. So it became a passion, became a life, and now I understand so much more, of course, than when I started out.
Interesting. Now let's go here because, wow, when you hit the scene, to where you became a name, we all know that Starsky and Hutch has. And I
wasn't trying to be. That wasn't my goal. I call myself a soldier who does the dirty work.
Dig that.
Nobody wanted to attack some of the characters, that I sort of, in a sense, trailblazed in the 70s and in the 80s and so forth, and even up until today, because when they call for an actor, they trusted me to represent that character. They couldn't tell me how to play a pimp or a drug addict or the alternative lifestyle. Today, like they said in the documentary, people try to prove how good an actor they are by being able to go there. Because I was committed to the role. If someone from alternative lifestyle saw what I was doing, they would be heartened to say, you know what, he's doing it. He's not pulling back and say, I'm only acting this role. I'm not really being it. And my job was to be every character that I played.
Now, you know what? Okay, now let's go there. Because, baby, in fact, let me just play the clip. I'm going to play the clip.
Okay.
Wayne. I mean, Abdullah, you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you know where I'm coming from. Revolution is the
You want to pick my brain, right?
Right.
I'm going to let you. You know that revolution you keep talking about all the time? When it happens, and it's going to happen, then you're going to be working here for real, not just playing around, splashing in the water. You understand? We get a chance to run your white ass, and y'all get a chance to sing We Shall Overcome in Chinese.
That's not what I meant.
Look, I'm so tired of you running off at your mouth that's getting me down, honey. Why don't you just leave and be an assassin? Or is the only thing you're good at shooting off is your big mouth?
Would you please get out of my face, you sorry-looking faggot?
Who you calling sorry-looking?
Can't y'all see that she ain't funny? She's just another poor example of how the system has of destroying our men.
Honey, I am more man than you'll ever be, and more woman than you'll ever get.
Honey?
Yeah. And then there was another film I did called Next Stop Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
I was hiding under the covers, and and it was about a guy who had called himself Bernstein, but he says only when he came out from under the covers and he discovered, that his life was a lie, his life was an act. I mean, all these things are just, to have to go there and to take those chances,
Especially in that time period, because that particular movie there, did you get any backlash from that? You know, was your sexuality questioned? You know, and all of that. What was that?
You know, if it was up to my mother, I wouldn't have played a lot of the roles that I played. But the backlash, the commercial sense was that when right after the movie came out, Universal TV showed it on television, and when they showed it on television, they took out my whole role.
Ooh.
They only had one little scene, and then they subsequently added it later, and it came out when they put it out the VHS copy. Of course, they added it back in, but they didn't know how to handle that. They didn't know. So the commercial, I mean, what we showed to America, now it would be easy for them to show that, but back then they took out I had to get a small one little glimpse of me in the film. So the corporate offices were not ready to go there. And I thank Michael Schultz and I thank Joel Schumacher, who wrote the Starsky, Car Wash, for just going there. I mean, this whole band of misfits, and including Lindy, was just a special moment. And I've been very blessed to be able to show up in different projects all along my career and make those kinds of marks. And in that particular arena, there was a book called The Celluloid Closet.
Yes,
which was written by a guy talking about actors who played gay roles and going all the way back to Some Like It Hot and all those things that were to where those actors got acclaim, and you could see that they were just acting that, you know. But at the same time, because I also did a role called with a TV movie with James Brolin where I was a transsexual, and then, of course, next stop Greenwich Village, and then, of course, Car Wash, and I think there was one other film. But those roles sort of people said, who is this guy? You know, and I stayed, like you, I stayed under the radar, but I was able to gain a whole lot of stuff and sort of sneak up on people from behind. And now when I look back, I've got a 52-year career of varied experiences that we can sit and talk for a long time about, and maybe one day after they've interviewed everybody else, they'll sit down with me on the Actors Studio and go through, and touching on some of the soldiers who did the dirty work out there, including, which hopefully or maybe including Antonio Fargas.
Well, I'm going to put you out there because here was a time, and I want to hear your take on this, because back in the 70s and all of that, when the term was coined blaxploitation, and you, D'Urville Martin, Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, your names had become synonymous with this era as far as men who were into this particular genre. What was your biggest success in this genre, and what do you think you could have improved? Now, I won't say your biggest failure. I would say, what do you think you could have most improved on?
Well, when people ask me a question sort of in that area, they say, what character did you like or enjoyed the most or improve, like you said? And I look at each one of the characters that I played as my children, and I can't really over the other. Plus, I never carried any of the movies that I did. I came in and did specific work on a specific color or texture in the film that most of the times made it a success. Because people that when they went to the Caribbean, or I've been to the movies and I didn't believe it, but when I sat in the movies without people knowing I'm there, and when even I had a small role, when I came across the screen, there would be a murmur that went up around the film, around the theater. Feel the vibe of recognition, and that's what Hollywood and those people pay for. When they know who is bankable, who is a bankable cameo specialist artist in a certain area. hopefully my name is on it. When I travel to England a lot, and they do a lot of surveys, the 100 best this and the 100 best that. They're starting to do that here.
Okay.
But I was in England and about 10 or 12 years ago, and they did a special saying the 100 best characters in British television history. And Huggy Bear was number 30-something. Starsky and Hutch wasn't even in the survey.
Wow.
That's how much people identified with what I brought to a character and my flavor that I brought to that TV show. So to say which character or, what I could have improved on, hopefully when I've done it, I don't want to touch it anymore. In fact, I don't even like to watch sometimes because the perfectionist that I am, I say, well, maybe I could have did this or maybe I could have done that. Nothing but that's the beauty of film. And when you do a play or something, you have an opportunity to keep improving and getting more and more depth and depth and depth by the many performances and opportunities you get. But you're sort of going to get one bite at the apple in film, and it's there for life. And and I'm proud of most of it. I'm proud of all of it. But at the same time, I am a perfectionist, and the more you know, the more information you have, the better. The more intelligent you are as an actor, or the more sensitive or the more open you are, to differences and ideas, the more you can into the character. So if I was to play Lindy today, it would be off the chain because I have all this life and Lindy was as insecure as I was. He was a survivor. Huggy Bear was a survivor. Fly Guy was putting on a mask. And when that mask was cracked and Fly Guy is when, the vulnerability that they're laughing at me. And that's the worst thing that anybody, could want is somebody to laugh at them,
Right.
That which cracks or gets a look, maybe they see behind my mask, And so having that vulnerability, we call it polarity, to be able to set yourself up to fall or to be able to bring yourself down to rise. Those are things like dramatic moments.
Or the rhythm of the character. Yes. Okay, let me take a short little break, but I want you to ponder on this, and here is the $25,000 question for all the cash and the prizes. You've worked with Tamara Dobson. You've worked with Pam Grier, and at that time, those were the two sisters that that ran the genre of the era. What was that experience like for you? With all of their notoriety, their beauty, everybody after them trying to get this, all of that. What was your space? And what did you learn from that experience? To ponder that, let me take a quick little break, and I'll have you answer that on the flip side of this. If you're just tuning in, baby, we're having a wonderful, wonderful time with the one and only Mr. Antonio Fargas. I'll talk to you guys in just a few moments.
Take yourself and your thoughts to the next level with Above Consciousness clothing. The clothing that not only brings about style and character, but it also raises the bar of consciousness so that we can be a better people, a better community, a better humanity. Whether it is to turn your tickle box over with our whimsical designs or challenge your thoughts and beliefs with our social awareness designs, Above Consciousness clothing is sure to titillate your spirit, tantalize your senses, and rivet your soul. Welcome to the next evolution of fashion, Above Consciousness clothing. For more information, please go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Above Consciousness clothing. Trade Day Management and Publicity Firm, an Atlanta-based PR production and management consultancy firm specializing in aggressive publicity and exposure campaigns, artist development, leveraging mutually beneficial relationships, and brokering deal with integrity. At Trade Day Management, enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment management needs, contact Travion Davenport at 678-523-3088. That's 678-523-3088. Or email at tredaypr@gmail.com. That's Treday, TREADAYPR@gmail.com. Treday Management and Publicity Firm.
Big Meach, it's Sarah Dash. I want to wish you a happy 3 years of bringing us such wonderful messages and such inspiring, uplifting words into our hearts. Again, it's Sarah Dash, and I wish you the best, darling. Keep on keeping on. I hope you have 300 more years of bringing the tea to us. Bye, baby.
Hello, everybody. This is Santa Claus wishing you a Merry Christmas and a happy New Year from HUGGY BEAR. I wish every mother, every father, every little boy and girl a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody, and a happy New Year. All through the year we waited, all through the year we worked, all through the year we prayed so hard to see this day, oh Lord. It's Christmas, have a happy night. It's Christmas, have a merry time. It's Christmas, have a happy night. It's Christmas, have a merry time. Merry Christmas, everybody, and a happy New Year. All through the year we waited, all through the year we worked, all through the year we prayed so hard to see this day, oh Lord. It's Christmas, have a happy night. It's Christmas, have a merry time. It's
All right.
What are you doing? You do too much homework, my brother.
I had to, baby, when I found that, I said, you are playing with me.
Hey, there was a guy who came over from England because Saucy Nuts was very big. He had this little thing. He said, I want to find something, a music for you to do. I have this little song, little Christmas song, that I want you to do. And eventually, obviously, I recorded it, but that also led to a kind of a seminal moment for me because there were kind of moments that marked my Hollywood career. And one of them was when I was one of the squares on Hollywood Square.
Yeah.
And the other one, because I was always a singer who wanted to sing. In fact, Hair, the musical, I was hired, and because I sort of smoke and mirrored my way into the cast, and then they found out that I really couldn't sing, and I was fired from that, and then but it opened up another door. But when I was in Holland and I did this tune, and then I went into this bar, and I put a few coins in the jukebox, and they had my song "It's Christmas" on the jukebox, and I said, you know what? Because I dreamt of maybe having a song or doing something but to be on a jukebox anywhere in the world, was special. And during that tour of doing that was the year I was touring, doing that song around Holland, and that was the night that, I got news that John Lennon was killed in New York.
Oh.
There's so many. I mean, First of all, I'd love to number one come back and do a part 2 with you at least, because if you would have me. And so,
of course.
But going back to Miss Pam and Tamara, Tamara Dobson was a model. I mean, there were no jobs for black actresses in the show business, in the film industry. There were no jobs for young black actors in show business when I started out, because the Screen Actors Guild didn't have a bunch of actors that they could cast a film about gangs. So this was a low budget independent film, The Cool World, and they went around to different neighborhoods and whatnot, and they auditioned all those people to create this cast. And some of us are still acting today, and still alive today too. But Tamara Dobson came along at a time when they were trying to find the equivalent of Sidney Poitier, or to find somebody who could come in terms of an action drama, big, strong, and they chose a wonderful young lady in Tamara Dobson, who had a lot of fire and personal integrity. And maybe even too much for the business. She's since passed on, but she was so she was new, and so she was looking for. They were trying to surround her with good people, good strong people, and I was chosen as one of those people, as to play her foil or to be one of her nemesis. But she was just a very, very special lady who had a lot on her shoulders, and sometimes we would get these opportunities. And when I talk to young people, I say, you know what? Sometimes you get one job, and all of a sudden you think that that the next job is going to come. And they weren't creating a bunch of roles for Pam, for Pam Grier, or Pam Grier had to make her own way. We'll get to her, but Tamara Dobson didn't have a lot of other opportunities that came out of the success of what she did with Cleopatra Jones films, and consequently, opportunities dried up, and she started doing some other things, and and all that, and had to deal with the fact that this is a business that's very unforgiving. It doesn't forgive, and it doesn't really care. It uses people up, and to be able to survive that, you've got to have a fortitude and know that my best acting I do at home and in the supermarket and walking around the streets just trying to survive. Okay. When I get paid to act, which is, I've just been very, very fortunate and really a God-blessed and driven life and career. But Pam also, she was already established as a savvy actress who was also being used to represent a lot of TNA, a lot of strong, which we hadn't seen before, in a black woman with an afro, with tremendous assets and gorgeous, and yes, everybody had dreams and and posters of Pam Grier and all of that, and I don't know if she even did a Playboy layout or not, but she was definitely had to survive, and I wish, and she, hopefully you can get her on the show sometime to talk for herself. But she was definitely a woman who knew how to survive, and still was involved in another project that I was really proud when I saw they did Jackie Brown, and they used her. Yes. And then they used the theme from a film that I did, Across 110th Street, as the opening. Yes. Jackie Brown. And when you did your opening on the show, it was really interesting. You did such a wonderful job with that HUGGY BEAR theme that you did. Then I also realized that there was Car Wash, and I was hoping that maybe you could figure out how to do something for Fly Guy. But Across 110th Street had a wonderful soundtrack by Bobby Womack and some really, really powerful stuff, and that's a whole other film. But Pam was very, very, very special, and it was just listening to the scene. We had something going on in terms of the acceptance of brother and sister. To have a sister like that as a to play in the scenes and to do that do that movie with. I was just a hungry actor. I didn't even have any idea of what the significance of the history of what was happening at the moment. It's nice to have 2020. Hindsight is 2020 to see. Being able to look at these films and see how the impact it has on Big Meach or anybody else in the world who's able to look back on a career or look back on the times, the blaxploitation period. When we were in it, we didn't know we were in a blaxploitation period. We were just hungry actors.
You were working, right.
Just
exactly.
working, trying to make a living and do something that we love to do. So that's my deal with Pam and Tamara.
Okay, now here we go. Because see, also now, I guess I'm a rare breed because I too am in the business as an actor and a singer. I'm doing this. We'll talk about my stuff later, but I'm in the business as well. And so when I come across work, I'm very eccentric. I have been somewhat following your career all of my life because I have to go here because you've made such an impact on daytime television to where there has never been another African-American father in daytime television as Les Baxter. You understand? Listen to the clip. Here's the clip.
What is the matter with you? My nephew came here hat in hand and asked you respectfully permission to see your daughter, but that wasn't good enough. What more do you want from him? Look, I've had it up to here with your delinquent nephew. His slate is clean. Not in my book, it isn't. And as far as I'm concerned, he should have been convicted of rape and sent to prison where he belongs. Rape. And the charges were dropped. Oh, don't give me that bull about black boy being railroaded by a white girl because I won't buy it. And you call yourself a lawyer? I call myself a father. And I'm not going to let my daughter hang out with that degenerate. Jesse is not a degenerate. But I have a few names for you, and one of them is bigot. Look, keep your hands off me. Who the hell do you think you are? Pronouncing sentence on an innocent young man? Where did you come from, Les? Don't you remember? Haven't you ever seen a young boy run in scared because a girl cried rape? Isn't that why you started into the law? To protect the underdog? And what are you doing now? You're standing here kicking my nephew in the teeth. I said, let go of me. When I am... Frank? Hey, Frank, what is it? Frank, Pat!
Les, what's happening?
Look, call an ambulance.
Oh, my God, what have you done to him?
Les Baxter, baby.
We were slugging it out, boy. One actor inspires the other. I'm so much listening to, how much he was giving me, as well as what I was giving him. And,
yes.
When they first wanted to hire me, I thought I was sort of insulted, but I was going to take the job, that I would be playing Angie's father when I thought I should be playing her brother. Because, but it was a special time, and to be on a show like All My Children at the time when they had one of the hottest storylines with Jesse and Angie and Phoebe and all these characters. It just taught me so much in the rehearsal hall because I had a great respect for daytime television acting skills, because you had to have a skill, and that was one that I was deficient in, but I had to learn fast on my feet. And they have some wonderful gag reels of me not remembering my lines or stumbling and all that, but by the time the cameras ran for real, because we did it live, we got it down.
Oh, wow.
It was I grew in that, and of course I was hired on a per show basis in the beginning, but just like Starsky, they saw the value in my storyline and in what I was bringing, and I knew that they probably wanted to kill me off, because I know that's what happens in daytime television. Characters go bad, and Les certainly did go bad. And they gave me a contract because they wanted to finish with the character. Because if I was busy, I would have said, you know what, I don't have time, or they'd have to pay me a lot more money in order to come in and do it.
Right.
So they put me on the contract, and of course my storyline ended with me dying.
Right.
And it's amazing in television when, just like Jesse died, but they can always bring you back if they want you. But, you know, I don't mind coming in, doing an effective role, leaving my footprint, and moving on. And that's what I did with.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because Les, you and Lee Chamberlain were. Oh my God. Oh, just that dynamic between the two of you alone. And then to bring in Debbie as the daughter, and then that was just a powerful, powerful black family. And in that era, we have never seen anything like it. Plus, you were middle class because we had all got used to, you know, the good times and this, that, and that. And then we got used to the Jeffersons being on the high end. You know, and then it was more so comedy versus real situations. But when we dealt with the daytime drama, we had a real-life situation where we had a middle-class African-American family that had power, grace, and sophistication and was dealing with real-life issues. And that, by far, Jesse and Angie, their storyline is still by far the best romance in television history. You know.
And, you know, for me, you know, because, you know, I take my hat off to them because so many people try to, button shoe or force you into a certain type of role. But I never thought I'd be playing a straight-up guy like that because I come from a character actor background, and I never wanted to be a leading man. So for him to make that character change and twist of coming in and you're not knowing, then all of a sudden he becomes a sinister person, that was even more enjoyable for me. And you know, it's funny too because it was very popular in France. And when I got that role, and I had a sort of not a fan club, but I was living in fact, when I was doing that show, I was living in Newport, Rhode Island, and I did a couple of magazine articles in France, and I said that I love France. I had, you know, ties there, and that I would love to find a house there. And I got all these cards of people who sent me, offering me that come in. I mean, they just love me. The French love me. So when I was hiding all my children, I had a tendency to be the kind of guy who would respond to all these fan mails. I mean, it took a lot of time to write, but I told them, if you care to write to me care of ABC Television. And so all these letters started coming in from France, and they said, what's going on? You know, I mean, because at that time they counted every letter that pertained to you as 1,000 people feeling the same way. It was sort of their way of surveying your popularity. So I'm sure that, that not only impressed them, but also let them know that I had an international audience, which, which them more bang. They got more bang for their buck when they had Antonio Fargas on All My Children.
Yes, they did. Now, what would you say would be like?
Oh, the other way. You know what? I wanted to segue into that. One of the other when I did Living Single.
Yes.
And I played Sinclair's, or I forget his name. He married. Yeah, I think he married anyway, my wife on that show, when I came in for a cameo, was Gladys Knight, and that was very, very, very special.
Yes.
All together, and we did, I think, 2 or 3 shows together, and it was. She's a giant. She lives here in Las Vegas. She's a giant in the business, and one of the nicest people in the world. And it was so wonderful work. So, okay, what were you going to ask me?
The question, would be it has something to do with that. What do you think would be the greatest lesson that you learned in show business, with everything being smoke and mirrors and faking it to the top, sex, drugs, and rock and roll? A lot of our colleagues who have come to such a demise by getting caught up in the bling of it and not necessarily living or separating themselves from all of the unreal. What is your greatest lesson that you've learned from this business?
Well, it's one is don't let this shit go to your head. Acceptance, and also my right to make a mistake. Ooh. And then the other one is show up early, do your job, and go home. And have a the real job is life. This is just an opportunity. When we work, it's sort of a life commercial. It's just a commercial. The commercial break from the real deal. And so I've learned, through hard knocks, through making my mistakes, the very things I'm talking about. It's about being disciplined. It's about not letting the press and all this stuff and your act and and all this expectations that people have of you, take you out of the reality of that you're just doing a job, no better than anybody else, and it's learning, it's learning humility. I think that's one of the greatest lessons as well.
All right, Patti LaBelle says that a lot, she says that she said it on Oprah once that how do there's no difference between me and you. We all put our pants on one leg at a time and we all got to go pee. I just sing for a living, honey. You may do something else, but we're no different. And here, particularly coming through,
but we're dream makers. Just like you said.
I like that. Brown. I like that.
Watch TV, so we create these dreams for people to aspire to, but they're really false dreams, But at the same time, because we don't tell people how to get there, that's why they want it instantly. If I make my job look real good and easy, it's almost, it almost does disservice to the fact that you've got to pay dues to get there. You've got to earn this stuff, and if it's given to you before you earn it, it could be.
It's detrimental.
It could be fatal.
Yeah, in some regards, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and it's fatal.
Beautiful. Let's go there then, because looking at yesteryear and how, because personally, I am having such a hard time conforming to this new way that they're teaching acting and things now. I'm old school theater. You plant yourself, you learn how to pivot on an angle, you make sure the audience catch all your facial expressions and all of that reaction and this, that, and the other. I've never been taught, to where you turn to the side and give the audience complete profile when you're on stage, and that is mind-boggling to me. But this is now the era that we're in. A lot of it is instant success nowadays. A lot of folks think that they can be, Tyler Perry right off the bat. We got a lot of the mama plays and the Chitlin Circuit plays or whatever that really don't have any substance. They cater to, it's like the blaxploitation in theater form all over again. And then you have the rappers turn actors, turn this, turn that have not necessarily paid dues. They come out of jail, they got a rap record, they make millions of dollars. Everything just becomes this illusion. What do you think needs to be the bridge between that to put that gap together to where we can find the happy medium between all of that?
I think it goes back to the thing that I told you in the beginning. And it's the grass grows between the monoliths out there, and we have to realize that we have to nurture the grass and not be more than that. And I think part of that is staying the course. It's like I said, don't become Wendy Williams, and I mean that. It means staying true to the game, staying true to the course, because I can't. Like you said, it's an attraction, not promotion deal. I can't promote old school values. I have to live them.
Exactly.
When I live daily basis, doesn't matter if someone goes ahead of me or makes more money than I made when I was doing this. I refuse to get bitter or jaded, by Tyler Perry's success or anything like that. I put on a dress and did Millie Jackson play, because I also thought we need to bring people with strong theater, or I would have loved for, and in his own way he did that. I would have loved for people, the intellectuals, to see the value in the mom because they fill those houses. Those mom and Chitlin Circuit houses filled houses. So there was a value in the reality of our life, and to see that there are characters in the church, and on the street, like you said, the black exploitation. Yes, it is. But I thought it would be, instead of putting down those plays, I wanted to get in there and do it and do an excellent job, do old school values within that. I want writers. I would love for August Wilson to say, you know what, I'm going to write a play like that. In the sense he did it on a higher level, on a higher intellectual level. His plays are certainly about music and characters and all of that. But at one time there was an elitist, jaded kind of view of that. But you cannot knock the dollars. You cannot knock the fact that people want to come and be dreamers.
Okay.
With the dream. So I would love to, continue, a dialogue with you in terms of what you're doing, and and how I could, be of maybe of some value or support in terms of how I look at the cards, and how I look at how we can make this thing work, and that one thing of saying, hey, you're doing the right thing, you're doing the right stuff, and and you have a powerful platform. As long as we don't get too, as long as we don't. If you want to, ain't nothing wrong with taking the money, and if somebody said, I want you to do a nationally syndicated show, you're not going to be able to do what you do now,
Exactly, because the powers that be end up, exactly, and I hear you.
When you're above ground like that, in a sense you bought, but you paid your dues for that as well. But I'm saying if we remain true to the game, and we see the power of small, we see the power of struggle, and we see the power of being accessible and touchable, and that's why I believe I'm part of the reason why I'm on the phone today and why I'm not on Facebook and all the other stuff, but people who want to reach me have my email and my phone number, and that's all. And when I have a fan club and I occasionally, call somebody, they don't even think it's me. They don't, they think it's somebody else or whatever. When I give somebody my number and phone number and say, if you need something, go. That's, I'm not going to say, hopefully I'll never have somebody where it's going to be in front and between me. Yeah, and I have a manager, I have an agent, I have a publicist and all the other stuff. But at the same time, I want people to feel like, and I do my best thing. When someone stops me in the store and tells me, like today I was having coffee and this lady came up to me and said, I'm a young artist and I just want to thank you for, that's gold to me. And I talk about making spiritual deposits by doing something for somebody and not expecting something in return. And learning just how to say thank you and please, and and those kinds of things.
Dig that. That's solid right there. Now, how do you transform or translate all that into your personal life? Your father, Your son Justin, honey, is well known as a former Oakland Raider and things in the NFL, and now a new father himself.
Yep.
How as the father, Antonio the father, how was it that you were able to take those lessons and those jewels and gems and disseminate that information to your children?
Well, I do it I try as hard as I can to make it an attraction, not promote, even to my children. The greatest role I'll ever play is Antonio Fargas.
Dig that.
When as I said, being a grandfather, being a father, being a husband, being those things are the most important things. And by my journey, because I'm a different guy, than I was 30-something years ago.
Dig it.
And if you keep, it's progress, not perfection, and I'll always be striving to improve Antonio and have my, when somebody comes up to me and says, your son did this or did that in terms of, when people, fruit don't fall far from the tree. And so we can keep it improving by putting different stuff in the soil. My fruit is different today, even though I ain't making no more, but my fruit is different.
Okay.
But I can, by staying the course, I'm a better father today than I was, 20, 30 years ago. And to have my son, show up at a play with his lady and bring me flowers on closing night, to have my son do the intro when I got an award, a Caribbean Heritage Award, to have my children call me when they need me, not just because when I want, but when they actually need me, because we raise our children not to need us, and then we become so needy.
Right, hello.
Hold them too close and not let them breathe and make their mistakes. So those are the lessons, and and I have a good life today. It's not perfect. I don't have all the things I want, but I have everything that I need. And alluding back to that, this is a spiritual journey, and when we can, my greatest gift is that I've allowed God into my life, and He was always with me. And He's a loving God, and not a punishing God like I sort of grew up with, and and had all this fear and stuff. But freedom, and the freedom of choice today, it's amazing. It's amazing, and so to have my son know that that when he used to play his games and he would run into the end zone and get down on his knee and say, and pray for his safety and for the others. That impressed me. When I talked to the chaplain for the team and said he was always there, and and he had a spiritual sense about what he was doing. He wasn't perfect, you make mistakes and all the other stuff, but that is the stuff that I had no idea that I was instilling that. It takes a village to raise these children. And, and so what I hear, what my children are doing, mistakes and all, but when you hear that they're doing the right thing, that you must have done something well in spite of myself. And so, and that's and it took me 3 times to figure out, how to be a partner and a husband, and have integrity and all those things, and or to be working at it, consciously work at it, and know that it was possible to have. That's going something, to live and let live, and to, again, start being able to reveal myself, so I can become even better actor now that I don't have to hide behind a mask. I can have a choice of what mask I want to wear. Not that I have to. Other times in life, I had to wear that mask. I needed that mask. Now it's a choice of what I can change hats at any time. I can be a lot of different things. I just have to keep straight what hat I'm wearing.
And who did you discover Antonio Fargas to be?
Well, Well, I'm a work in progress. I'm a sensitive guy. I'm learning how to be a giving guy. I always talk. At this point in my career, I know whose shoulders I stand on, and I'm just trying to make my shoulders strong. For you and for younger folks. When I encounter them, that's why I enjoy so much. Getting back to I gotta get to my daytime job right here, right now. I'm working at this Las Vegas Arts Center, and the kids need me, and I need them more than they need me. Shoulders there for them to stand on and to teach and to guide and give them. We teach acting and dance and all of those arts are just metaphors and for giving them life skills to survive. As I said, my way of teaching acting is, again, surviving life through acting. So my thing is, it's about character. It's about the greatest character you'll ever, greatest role you'll ever play is Big Meach, and
right.
all the derivatives of that. So I think it's real important to use theater and discipline as metaphors of how we can survive in a hostile world. Outside of the theater, outside of church, when we go outside of the movie theaters after we've gone and had our dreams or looked at dreams, when we have to go back to our lives, how much can I practice these principles in all my affairs, particularly at home, particularly in letting someone have a parking space that needs it and taking a parking space away from where I'm going and putting that spiritual deposit in my bank.
Wow, that's gold right there.
Ensures my survival, and so it's about being available to God's kids every day, and one of them is myself. I'll also say that I was taking this course on self-improvement, and they said, well, what do you want to? And I said, I want to work on being my best friend.
Wow.
And if you can go up to somebody and say,
wow,
if anybody treated me the way I treat myself, I'd want to beat them up, then you're not being your best friend.
Wow. That's jewels. Okay. Wow.
Can you give me a copy of that theme you play? Did you put that together? How did you do that?
I found it and just put it up here. I can get it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know there was a group called HUGGY BEAR.
Yeah, that's the group.
Yeah,
that's
because
group.
I heard that
ballad.
Yeah.
It's a Latino group. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, if you could send me that.
I sure
if you
will.
Send it over to Angelo's office. He'll send it to me, and
I'll get it to you. I most definitely will.
You're based in Atlanta, right?
Yes, I am. I'm based in Atlanta now. I'm from Detroit, and Atlanta's doing me good mentally and spiritually. So yeah.
And you're doing them good, so that's a trade-off, But I'm coming there to get an award at this theater. You know Andrea Fry?
I know that name, yes.
Yeah, they have a sister, I think it's Debbie, has a theater, and they're honoring Lynn Whitfield and my at this award. I'll have Angelo's office get that to you.
Okay, please do.
So I'll be in town for a couple of days and whatnot. And but let's. You have a final for me because I got to go to work.
Actually, I'm looking at the time now. I was just going to say, if after everything that you just said, would you say that defines your legacy? If you were to put make a log line of your legacy, what would that log line be?
That's one of those Barbara Walters in your heart of hearts, you know. And I'm one who loves to ponder, you know. I love the spontaneous answer, but I don't think it also does justice to, you know. So let me think, and if I can't get it, then I'm going to say we'll have to do that on the next one. That will be the top question.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you sometimes as I said, I think if you look at all my body of work, you know, it sort of says somebody else has to write that. And I think if you listen to this interview in its entirety, I think you would define that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a servant. I'm just a servant, blessed, not lucky, but just blessed individual to have the life that I've had and to give of myself and know that it's in the giving that I get to keep it, and it's in the giving, you know, that I've got it to give away. So, and the story is still being written, you know, and the end, you know, the end is near. You know, I know I don't have a lot of time calendar-wise, so that's why I live each day, you know, to its fullest. When I was young, a year went by very quickly.
Yeah.
And no, when I was young, a year took forever. You know, I mean, school, and it seemed like it was forever. You know, as I became jaded, involved, and everything else, and you know, and pain was involved in trying to hide and do what I needed to do to survive. The years went by very, very quickly. But now that I've gotten spiritual sense and living every day fully, a year is taken forever again. And
because you've made time your friend. I say that in my book. If you make time your friend, you will have all the time in the world. The second that you make time an enemy or race against it, you'll lose it forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And on that, I am going to give you accolades and give you just my heart, because I just have to sincerely say thank you for being you, for listening to that soft voice that was beating on your heart like a drum in your ear and told you to move, and you danced to that particular music. Because without your dance, I wouldn't be here. You know, my life there would be a piece missing, because you are one of the people who helped define me through your body of work, okay? And I thank you, I respect you, and I thank the Omniverse for you, that we coexist in the same time and space so that I could have partaken of that. So with that, yes, I congratulations on being a grandfather. I'm looking forward to you and your stepson Matthew doing some things together, and just doing this thing, honey, the way that you have been ordained to do.
Thank you, Big Meach. Much pleasure, and say hi to all those people around the world that you touch.
All right, I sure will. And you be blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Wow. Wow. That was such a jewel. I love that. I've got to go play the archives myself, because I make everything in life, make it an attraction and not a promotion. That there is the takeaway right there. Make it an attraction, not a promotion. Listen at that. Because if you're attracted to it, then you're going to do everything you need to do to get it. If it's a promotion, it becomes fodder. We all know what promotions are. It's propaganda. It's propaganda. It's big. It's hype. And not necessarily, you know, the song said, don't believe the hype, don't it? And I love, wow. Woo, that's a jewel right there. That is a jewel right there. Whew, I'm having such a, wow. I'm blown away with that. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let me do this. I'm going to take a break because let me pull it together. I'm going to play, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Oh, wait. Oh, somebody had their hand up, 404-771. Was you trying to have a question? Baby, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm going to come to you in just a minute, and I'm hoping, oh, Lord. I didn't see you. The thing didn't have your hand up. It just popped up just a second ago. Oh, baby. Okay, well, hold on a moment. Let me take this commercial break, and I'll be right back.
The internet sensation is now in print. Get your copy of the book that will not only change your life, but change your thinking as well. Awakenings, Epiphanies Along a Spiritual Journey is a compelling collection of blogs that have been the pinnacle of spiritual development and discernment for its author, internet talk show host Big Meach. Not only does this body of work offer the insight from his life experiences, it provides the reader an amazing opportunity to go on a journey that will awaken insight into their own higher power while encouraging personal growth and spiritual development. With chapters such as, I cannot give you life, nor can I live it for you. Truth is a bad bitch. It's time for a career change. I am not your God. And in what love do you operate? You will be captivated and compelled to take the life lessons the book has to offer and apply them to your life. To get your copy today of Awakenings, Epiphanies Along a Spiritual Journey, go to www.dishingtea.com, or you can find it on the web at www.amazon.com, or if you prefer an ebook, find it at www.smashwords.com. Awakenings, Epiphanies Along a Spiritual Journey. Are you ready? Are you ready for the journey?
This is Peter Jackson of 5 More Artists Detroit and Pharaoh's Treasure Box, wishing Big Meach and Dishing Tea a happy anniversary.
This is celebrity publicist Trey Davenport, also a very proud member of Les Troupes des Arts, calling to wish Demetrius as well as Dishing Tea with Big Meach a very happy congratulations for your 3rd year anniversary. Keep doing what you do. You are a beacon in the media community. As a publicist, I've always looked to your show to give notoriety, acknowledgement, and awareness to my clients and their topics, ranging from NFL players to music artists to up-and-coming actors and actresses. Dishing Tea with Big Meach has always been my go-to place for that platform. You are awesome. You are not afraid to broach topics that need to be discussed and to always keep it 100% real and from the heart. So from Trade Day Management and Publicity and from a longtime friend and loved one from many, many years, I just wanted to tell you how much I love you and how I appreciate Dishing Tea with Big Meach. Love you. Bye-bye.
Wow, yes, we're still on our 3rd anniversary, honey. All month long, we're going to be just basking in what 3 years has done and what we've accomplished in those 3 years, looking forward until to do 3 more, 30 more, 300 more, 3,000 more, you know, and until we can't. Okay. I just had a wonderful, wonderful time. And I had a hand up. I'm going to come to you anyway. 404-771. I hope that, hey, darling, you're on the air.
Hey, Meach, it's me, Elder. How are you doing?
Hey, darling, I'm so sorry that you're...
That's okay. I was enjoying the interview anyway. Congratulations on your 3rd year. Congratulations on the interview. I was just caught up in it, and in a roundabout way, he answered my question in bits and pieces, because my question to Antonio would have been, how does he feel being a pioneer, not getting the recognition that is truly due him?
Okay.
And I would have loved to have heard his direct feedback, but he gave it in bits and pieces. You know? And to hear him be so humble and admit that he's had a great career was in and in itself a response to what I was asking, but I was just wondering how it felt to be in the industry and not have the industry recognize him as the institution that he is.
Oh, God. Well, we've already put in the omniverse that he's coming back. Because,
and I'm sure you'll see him and ask him.
Oh, exactly. Because that there, his career has taken us, I mean, as someone who was a trans man or what are we calling them? At the time, Lindy wasn't necessarily a trans man. Lindy was just a butch queen up in face, in car wash,
Absolutely.
And was real, not a. He wasn't the comic relief. It was a real life character. That we all know and we all have been or we all have seen, just living life, honey. I'm working at the car wash trying to make my coin like you are, honey. And that was very real, and that's why that scene sticks out to me so much, because, like I asked, I'm sure everyone wanted to question his sexuality at that point because it was so real.
Yes, it was. And people questioned it long after that, even in other roles. And when he said his role in about Greenwich Village, many people questioned his sexuality in that role.
Yeah. And, it was just refreshing for him to say he was the one who was willing to take on the roles that others didn't, because he wanted to give those people the respect. So, but trust me, honey, we're going to bring him back, because I got to get that one. I got to get a direct answer with that. I hate that this thing did not have you up here. But I am so full right now because he just gave it. Make life an attraction, not a promotion.
Yeah, and I know you're going to post it. That's why
I am.
That's why I haven't done it. I can't beat you to your own show because I wanted to go right in and post that. Because I've already posted the other one where he says the greatest role he's played is Antonio Fargas.
How about it? Okay. I'm so full right now. It is ridiculous, and I knew this was going to happen. Just in everything about him. Oh, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you were able to catch what it is. Whatever you missed is going to be in the archives.
Oh no, I've been on all along. I was in the chat room. I've been on all along. I caught the whole interview. Like I said, he answered it in bits and pieces. It would just been great to hear him respond in one piece to the question. Yeah.
Ooh.
So how he actually felt. Like you, he's impacted your life. He was this black image on TV when there weren't many, and he impacted many people. And to not get the recognition from the industry,
exactly.
That
Exactly. Wow. Yes, indeed. I'm trying to think of the name of that character that he played in the film that we were talking about. Oh God, where he played a trans woman in that one.
Oh, you know what? Nah, I just lost it that quick.
Oh God, and I was Anywho, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research to find that one because when he said it, I had forgot all about it until he said it. So yes, but darling, I'm floating right now. You know, you know how I get, and this has just been absolutely fantastic. Oh wow, make life an attraction, not a promotion. Woo. Okay. Well, darling, I'm going to post that now. Click on the share and send it to everybody, honey. That one got to go. That's got to go. That's got to go. We got to make that one viral. Okay? So, darling, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, sweetie. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here has just been, what a way to celebrate an anniversary, honey. That is just jewel. And it's too clever. And that was Elder. Oh, God. Elder, he was a guest on the show before. And, so calling him. Oh, God. I'm in a space right now. So when I get like this, I'm going to have to wing it down and all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, honey. If you love me, tell a friend. If you hate me, tell an enemy, honey. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, this thing here will move forward and upward, okay? So, honey, I'm hoping that you have finished all of your crumpets, honey, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach. Yes, you have. Honey, join us next week, honey. Next week, we're going to look into something, an area that may be a little bit morbid, but a lot of folks don't like to talk about this. And I'm going to you, my big boys, the big children, honey. We need to look at funeral and burial plans, insurance, and all of that, because a lot of folks don't realize, honey, with all of this weight that we have, and once we, give up the ghost, all of this weight becomes dead weight. It doesn't fit in a regular casket. So your family gets the burden of having to do double-wide caskets, this, that, and the other, and it costs extra money. I'm working on getting, hopefully we'll have a funeral director or someone who's in the mortuary sciences to come on, and we're going to discuss the final planning, what that is for final preparations, how do we get all that done. And I know you don't like talking about it. No one does. However, it's a part of life. And if we're talking about being prepared, then this is part of the preparation. Okay, think of the funerals and things that you've gone to where the family scrambled because nothing was in order. Everybody got talked about because nothing was in order. Okay, and this, that, and the third. So these are going to be some of the things that we talk about. We're going to get into some of the critical issues of funeral services, like why in the hell does it cost so damn much to bury somebody these days? What exactly are you paying for? So we're going to talk about that next week. So join me, honey, and trust me, you're going to want to be in on this one. That's going to be a fascinating topic, and we're going to do it the way that we do it, honey. So with that being said, honey, I hope that you had a great time, honey. Go out, enjoy the day, seize the day. Carpe diem, honey, Karen White. Carpe diem, seize the day. Make it yours. Be the day that you want to have, honey. I'm about to go get my nails and my feet done, and I haven't had it done in a few weeks. And so I'm going to go pamper myself just a little bit because I've earned it, and I'm going to bask in these jewels, honey. I want you guys to sit down there, make life an attraction, not a promotion. There's a quote from Mr. Antonio HUGGY BEAR Fargas. So with that in mind, my darlings, thank you so much, and I will talk to you at the appropriate time. Until then, you be a blessed day.
Some other banks offer you a promotional savings rate, then they drop it just a few months later. Don't fall for it. Open an account with Capital One and get one of the nation's best savings rates that's not a promotional rate. Plus, you can open an account online in just 5 minutes. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One N.A. member FDIC. Copyright 2017 Capital One.